Hi, Alicia Waldron here, and I wanted to share with you my experience in working with a client in the Human Rights and Policy and Procedure Department, Quality Assurance Department. Um, so I have had minimal contact with clients and will not have a lot of contact with clients throughout the year. So the majority of my contacts with clients are going to come from complaints, human rights complaints, and then the subsequent investigations from those complaints. So I will share with you my very first complaint. Well, a complaint that I was investigating. Um, so I had the opportunity this past week to shadow a human rights complaint um, where a client had gotten injured at a group home. Um, and this client had been speaking with one of his friends at the group home, and the other individual became agitated and hit the client in the stomach with the walker. Um, so once an event like this happens at a group home or one of our facility settings, then we are required to complete a human rights investigation just to make sure that the staff did what they were supposed to do at the time. So what we're looking for is staff neglect or staff abuse during the situation. So our first step is to contact the CEO, let him know that this had happened, and our second step is to notify the state, the Commonwealth of Virginia, and let them know that we are now investigating this event. So after we did that, then we contacted staff by phone and just kind of learned who was involved and what had happened, and asked if they have any uh, any ideas as to whether this could have been handled in a different situation or whether they feel like it was handled in an appropriate way. So in this situation, the staff said that she immediately, when she saw it happen, she immediately stepped in between the two individuals, calmed them down, and then took the injured individual into her office so that she could check his injuries. And upon checking his injuries, found that there were no abrasions, no bruises, no cuts. So the client was fine. He was just tender to the touch at the time that it occurred. Um, so she stayed with him for a while until the bus came. They were going on an outing, so she stayed with him until the bus came just to make sure that he was okay and to kind of process it with him. Um, and said that the client was more so interested in knowing that he and the other member were still friends. Um, so this group home, I need to say, is also for the intellectually disabled in our community. Um, so that plays a role in how we communicate with the client, obviously, because we always want to make sure that we're talking to them in a way that is very much understood. So after we talked with the staff member, we went to meet with the client, and the client needed to be reminded that this had happened, and then said, "Oh yeah, I remember this happening," and then basically gave us the exact same scenario that had happened that the staff member had given us. Um, so we asked the client if he was happy with the way that staff handled it, and he basically said that the staff took very good care of him. He was very happy with it, and he continued then to thank the staff for taking care of him. Um, so that um, that then led us to the next step in the investigation, which was to determine whether it was a founded human rights complaint or an unfounded human rights complaint. Because staff stepped in immediately and they really did spend time with the client to make sure that the client was okay, we would say that it was unfounded. Staff definitely were not neglectful in this case, and they were there and available to the client. So next, we went back to the office and we notified the CEO um, of our findings, and then we typed our report into the online system to inform the state of our findings. And then we typed up a letter to be sent to the client and his parents, and also to the staff at the group home to keep on file. And that concluded our investigation. So time with the client was very, very minimal, but you know, one thing that is good for me is that it really challenged me to work with someone who does have an intellectual disability, and to really it challenged my communication skills, so that I could not only understand this individual, but make sure that he was understanding me. And neither one of us felt uncomfortable during the discussion. He was very, very open to give me information, and I felt comfortable in this role as well, so far. So this was a very easy shadowing experience for me, and I am sure that there are going to be more challenging experiences throughout the year. So I'm excited that this is the opportunity that I got to witness, just so that I could see what the process is like for a pretty cut and dry situation. Um, any feedback that you have for me is, um, you know, more than welcome. Again, it's pretty cut and dry. I was challenged to some degree, but I felt pretty comfortable with that. It was a very, um, it was a very comfortable challenge. So, looking forward to sharing more with you as the semester goes on, and looking forward to meeting with you at our synchronous session.